Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of How Are We Supposed to Read the Indices? Yes, this is the market wrap which I'm doing every day, and we can see that the markets behaved in line with our expectations. As I'm having the charts of Nifty here, one can observe that the Nifty has been slowly, gradually heading higher. And you can see here that we had used the concept of trend lines and the trend line support, which has moved on quite well. You can see here that the prices have steadily moved higher, and now we had also talked about this particular zone of this bearish engulfing. The bearish engulfing was threatening, but the prices have managed to hold on, and now they are showing an inclination to move higher. Well, Nifty continues to remain positive, and we took the cues on this particular aspect of Nifty from the intraday chart. So why don't we step down into the intraday charts and take a look at that? This is the intraday charts here, and the intraday charts of Nifty continue to show us that somewhere along the region of around 10,200 are the immediate set of supports. You see here, this is a support line which we had drawn, and we had said that Nifty is oscillating around this zone, around the other, at the upper end, which is around once again around the 10,400 mark. You can see here that Nifty moved in and around this area, and then it has closed above the zone. This I am using a 15-minute chart, and you can see here that Nifty has closed quite well. It has closed well above this channel which had been formed over the last three sessions. And now, as my last few episodes, I am showing you how to use the concept of Fibonacci pivots. Once again, I have the Fibonacci pivots with me again, and you can see here that the pivot has risen higher for the current session, which is the 1st of July. The day began well. Let me just turn off the pivots for the other days. Let me just turn off the historical pivots. I'll just turn off the historical pivots. You can see here that the day began well. The day began well, and you can see here the continuous move to the top, and it has now broken above the upper end of the channel as well. So as a channel target, if I were to see the whole width is the channel target, so which is somewhere in the region of 200 points, around 180 points from here, which again pits Nifty with the current highs. So this is going to be a level to watch out for in this next two sessions. So we need to see whether the Nifty has the room or the legs to go above this. That this could be a very, very interesting scenario which is unfolding. We are heading into the weekly expiry tomorrow, and it could be a very interesting contest to see how the market is going to fare. But yes, the overall setup does look that the positive bias which we have been holding out over the last two episodes is working out quite well. So the key level to watch out for in Nifty is 10,560 on the upside, and if there were a pullback, so I would reckon somewhere in the region. So if I were to remove all these tools right now, you can take this gap area as a nice pullback zone somewhere in the region of 10,335. So 10,335 would be a good level to watch out for. Around 10,390 is also the pivot level for tomorrow. So it could be a very good setup which we could look at, and that will be a very good way to look at the markets. So when we meet again tomorrow, we will analyze on the Nifty. Now let's move down to Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty has been very interesting. We had discussed yesterday about this particular support trend line. We had also spoken about a particular kind of channel formation which is there. So you can see here that this particular channel which we were discussing as part of our discussions. So as part of our reading, we saw that yes, the channel support is there. Now, if Nifty were to rebound, We had said that Nifty is at an inflection point. So this was the inflection point which we had discussed yesterday, and Nifty is taking good support out there. So our view was that Bank Nifty could make a run for it, and that's what we are seeing. So if the Bank Nifty continues its upward journey once again, we will be able to see some more movement in the Nifty. So it's an interesting day. So an expiry, weekly expiry day, and a lot of action to be seen in the Bank Nifty. So that could be the main index to watch out for. So now let's step down to the intraday, and you can see here the intraday is poised quite well. Intraday levels are very clear. Intraday levels are around the 21,000 mark. Let me just expand this chart a little bit so that we get a better perspective. You can see here that yes, the move has been quite well. You can see here that it has now given a good push from taking supports from this zone. So what I would do here is I would use a concept of pivots once again, and you can see here that the charts have moved quite well on the Bank Nifty also. You can see here the price has moved quite well, and it has gone above the R3 zone, which is indicating strong bullishness. So now what I would do is I would give pivots a rest, and let's see, and let's try and use some other tool like say a Fibonacci retracement of this downward leg from the right from the top to this low which was formed on 25th June. You can see here there is still some room at the top towards the 22,000 mark. Yes, the 22,000 mark will be it hit 22,000, but it could not cross it. So on the daily charts, this zone around 22,500 would be a point of contention once again. So we cannot expect much. There's not much room on the Bank Nifty. Yes, it could go maybe up to 22,200 on the Bank Nifty spot. So that is what is the room which I envisage as part of the Bank Nifty. On dips towards 21,000, say 600 to 400 could be a dip buying zone. So this will be a dip buying zone. This will be a profit booking zone. So that's how the Bank Nifty is poised for tomorrow. So let's see at the end of the day tomorrow as to how the Bank Nifty has fared, and what is the kind of outlook which it is giving us. Now let's move on to the third and final index, which is CNXIT. CNXIT continues to languish, and the whole movement, if you were to see, it is moving within this big mother candle here. So this is a big, nice long body candle which has enveloped this entire move. So you could practically take it as the whole the Nifty IT would be in this kind of oscillation phase, and unless this oscillation is exceeded either on the upside or the downside, there is not much of action to be seen on the IT index. So it's best that we focus on the other sectors which are at work, because that seems to be in action right now. So even on the intraday chart, you can see here there is some hesitation, but these levels around 14,700. We had discussed these levels yesterday too, around the 14,700 mark, and these levels continue to offer support. And unless and until these levels are breached decisively and you get maybe a 15-minute or a 30-minute candle, one should not worry too much about getting bearish on the Nifty IT itself or the component stocks. For now, Nifty IT is a standby, while Nifty and Bank Nifty are definitely hot, and those are the levels to watch out for. The levels in Bank Nifty are 22,200 and 21,400 on the downside. Nifty has got your levels at 10,560 up on the upside and 10,350 on the downside. So these are the levels to watch out for, and we will see how the whole action begins. So this is the kind of setup, and this is the kind of concept which I am using as part of my sessions, and I'm going to be showing you more on how to use the concept of pivots and other techniques, and how to use the concept of pivots and how to enable your understanding and other important concepts which I'll be sharing. You can take a look at the link below, register for the webinar which is coming up on Saturday. It's going to be a fascinating session where I'm going to talk to you about how to approach the market, how to use various tools in technical analysis, and how to find out a suitable strategy with a game plan. I'm going to be giving you a game plan, and you can use that for profiting from the markets. So register on the link below, which is there below this entire video, and I'll be happy to see you in the webinar where I can share more concepts with you, more knowledge with you, and show you the structure of how to use interesting strategies on the indices. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. See you next time.